structure for coaches and consultants that follow them to generate revenue even they are sleeping. None other than Mr. Arturas Tarasevicius.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be on the show, buddy.
Welcome once again, Mr. Arturas, on Entrepreneurship 101. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I know?
My name is Arturas. I'm a performance marketer, which basically means that I help businesses build backend systems to make sure that they're making money when they get the attention. So I've been in the business for more than 5 years, completely built everything by myself, had loads of experience. And yeah, now I'm just sharing it with small business owners and teaching them and doing things for them to make sure that they're not missing out and actually making money with their businesses.
And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Arturas. Thank you. And today let's talk about helping digital product creators, coaches, and solopreneurs build the business infrastructure that actually allows the ideas to scale. So you now build system for living, but I'm willing to bet you were not born with perfectly optimized life. What is your own breaking point, the moment of operational chaos that made you realize systems and automation were not just nice to have, but essentially to survive and for survival?
Okay, a really great question. And I can already see where it fits in my career, the breaking point. So for me, I started as a marketer, simply started working with small clients, helping them with with marketing jobs, making designs, websites, and stuff like that. And my big breakthrough came through working with a massive uh, client in the US focused on the transportation business, who actually had a really great business already built. So all backend systems in place. They were simply missing the marketing element. It was very interesting because it was an old school type of business that wasn't utilizing marketing really well. It was way behind, but all the other processes were extremely well developed already to make sure that the business works. So when I came on, we ended up spending over $2 million over the next 2 years working together, and we generated about 150 millions in revenue. So it all happened simply because all the backend systems were in place. And over those 2 years working with this client, I actually saw and got to be um, involved on further developing and building of that backend system that is actually driving all the revenue. The ads and the marketing only speed up the process, but they're not, let's say, they're not where the juice is. The juice is in the backend system, and that backend system looks something like this: three main three main mechanisms of that backend system. The first one is, can we have people coming into the business? Do we have people in the door? Do we have an actual lead capture? So can we actually get a lot of people in the door? The second system is, can we convert a lot of these people to trust us, to believe in us, and to see the world the way we do and jump on the boat to make sure that we work together? And then the third system is, what should we be doing that our each of our client is actually spending more and more money with us? Very simple three-step process that was already in the business, and when we came on, it was clear and cut. So we knew what we had to do when we have leads. So all they had to do is run marketing a lot of marketing, a lot of spend to make sure that the leads are coming in the door. Once they're in the door, there was a process to take each lead by the hand through the conversion process and into the sale. And there was already a sales team that actually takes all the leads and converts them into customers or clients or partners, even in the business as well. And then once we have those customers, there's a process after that conversion that makes them more and more involved with the business. Hence, business is able to earn more and more money from each customer. And this system was already in place. The only thing that was missing is that marketing. And now and we fixed the problem and we got rewarded. But now what a lot of small businesses and solopreneurs and coaches, what they miss out on is that core business process. It's very flashy nowadays to get viral or look at social media and think, oh, it's so easy to start a business, just start making posts. But it's not that simple, even though it looks like that. And a lot of people put too much emphasis on the things that make the business look nice, maybe the websites and social media posts and stuff like that, but they're not actually driving any revenue. There's no sales process. There's no lifetime value process. And what I see with small businesses is that they struggle quite a lot. And when I come in, when I start looking at their business, even before we start working together, I look very hard and deep into the core business that they actually have. Apart, we put the marketing away, even though they come to me for marketing, but I always go into the business and see, okay, what are the margins? Does it even make sense to run advertisements? What's going to happen if you bring in 100 new customers? Are you able to scale easily, or are you going to struggle and have problems with delivery? So before I even make them or I help them with marketing, I always look at the business, and if there is a business structure, backend systems already in place. If they're not in place, I always suggest to not run any marketing. Make sure that those systems are in place so that every single dollar that you do spend on marketing, you're getting the best return on it. And usually, because marketing is simply buying attention, if the attention doesn't trickle very well into the company, then it's just going to be a waste of spend, a waste of money, and you're not going to make that attention into real revenue. And then what's going to happen if you have a few of these bad experiences, you're simply going to make that decision, a rational decision at that moment, that ads don't work for you. And that's it's a horrible mistake that I see a lot of small businesses come to this conclusion that ads don't work, whilst everywhere they go, everything they watch, everywhere that they listen, there's ads blasting on all platforms, anywhere they go. But for them, they feel like ads are not working. So it's a horrible place to be in, especially as a small business, cutting yourself away from an extremely effective way of getting attention simply because you had a few bad experiences. So I always try to prevent that, and usually I'm able to prevent that by making sure that backend systems are in place so that when the client runs ads, they're actually having a pleasant experience instead of just dropping their hands down and being disappointed.
You created a coach glue specifically for coaches. What do you observe in that particular market? Coaches trying to scale. What told you they needed their own specialized solution, not just a generic automation advice?
So again, this falling back, it's the same problem for coaches. They face the same problems simply because they're the only ones that are doing the service delivery. So a lot of coaches actually do the service delivery themselves, and then it's basically a day job for them. And when you're running a day job, it's really hard to scale. The only way you can actually make more money is by raising the prices. And from the group that I've made for coaches, a lot of people are afraid to raise their prices, especially coaches. They think that they're going to lose customers, that they're going to struggle. So the reality is that even though they're coaching businesses and they work alone, they still have to follow the same processes that a normal big business would run by having clear processes. And at any point, if they do decide to make their venture into a business, it's much easier, and they already have a lot of things already set up. Um, so yeah, I hope that answered
Mhm.
the question.
Very well said, Mr. Arturas. You base in Vilnius, a growing European tech hub. How's your location and perspective shape your approach to business, especially when serving a clients who may be in completely different time zones and markets?
Uh, Good question. Right now, Lithuania is an interesting place. A lot of these kind of digital marketing services are basically built for the international market. So there's a big network here of talent and people that serve businesses internationally, focused on the service market. And the
Mm.
local market here might be small because simply it's a small country, but the ecosystem is pretty good. And because everything is already online, we have easy access to international markets and even bigger communities. Very interestingly, a lot of companies here are so intertwined internationally that a lot of them get clients from US, and then they work with talent from the East, from countries like Philippines, India, where a lot of talent is much cheaper but have equivalent equivalent skills. And so a lot of businesses here in Vilnius does a connective sort of a service. So they take English speaking clients and connect them with with English speaking but less expensive talent across the world. And yeah, a lot of these small countries like Lithuania focus on fulfilling that demand and being that middleman, just connecting the world into business and connecting those networks and making sure that all sides are happy and things are moving.
I think you're the Silicon Valley of Europe, as they said. Oh, so you've said if your business is not working, face the system, not yourself. That's almost spiritual statement and culture that glorifies hustle and self-blame. How do you help founders actually believe that instead of just defaulting to I need to work harder?
Good question. And I think this perspective is changing right now. I believe it was, I mean, maybe in USA it's still a cultural norm to hustle, but I think a lot of people in Europe and across the world are slowly realizing that simply working more or harder doesn't result in more growth or more profit. It's all about the efficiency. So if are things moving when us as people are not present, if every business is tied to people, the moment something happens, the business dies. For example, if a corona hits and a lot of people uh, are not able to come to work, does it mean the business disappears overnight, or is there other processes that are happening that are that the business is based upon, such as trust, um, reliability, right? So those this same thing applies to what I'm talking about here, about those back-end systems. And what happens was when a solopreneur gets sick, does it mean his business stops moving completely? Does his business start regressing? What happens when you're not able to kind of show up for the day? um, I think a lot of solopreneurs enjoy the freedom that they have when it comes to working for yourself, by yourself, and just working with clients. But the problem is that it still relies on you. And a lot of my clients, they work by themselves, they're solopreneurs, but they wish to take themselves out of the business and they want things to keep moving without them. So, and it's perfectly normal. And I think, it's it's just normal to kind of for the attention to start pivoting away from working harder, working more. There's only so much you can do. At the end of the day, you get tired of doing the same things, and you sometimes just want to move on in life. So having those back-end systems allows you to keep what you've built and then let that keep moving, but take yourself out of the situation and kind of be the third party person on that thing that you've built, on that experience, on that authority. So yeah, I think that perspective about working harder is moving, and it's moving, especially coaches. uh, there maybe for someone who's starting, they have to get the ball rolling, so they need to work hard simply because they need to build a network. But a lot of the coaches who stay in the business for more than 2-3 years, they usually reach that point where they say, okay, I need to slow down, need to figure this out. I need to figure out a way to keep on making money. I need to figure out a way to keep on serving my customers, but without me having to do all the actual work. And that's where I come in. And usually my clients come to me after years of doing their business. Um, but a lot of them still miss out on that core business knowledge. They usually just focus on doing that work, and the reason is that they're not able to get themselves out of it because they don't spend time building that back-end system. And usually when they come to me, we transition them and we build the architecture and we do all the emails, all the content, everything that's required for them to get out of the picture, so that when for example attention comes to them, the attention gets captured, it becomes a lead. That leads goes through a personalized sales process, usually through email because it's very direct. And then the conversion or the purchase can happen, doesn't matter when the coach is available or not. If everything is done right, usually the sales are happening and the coach is able to do whatever he wants. He can be wherever he wants to be. The business is there. The delivery, that's another question. They still have to do delivery. And however, that delivery, you can really mold it and change it however you want for it to fit. If you want more high ticket, you can spend more of that time doing one-to-one coaching. If you want to get a little bit more time on your hands, then it's okay to do group coaching and have groups, just collect groups of people and do that group coaching. So there's really a lot of options.
A lot of option indeed. So, Mr. Arturas, to wrap up our discussion today, you build system for living, but you have also human with emails, distractions, and overwhelm. What does Arturas' own personal system look like? How do you ensure you're practicing what you preach when no one is watching?
That's a good question, because I do fail sometimes. Even though I am
Mhm.
building all these systems,
Yes.
sometimes the body can give out, and uh, I take that time. I take that breaks when my body is asking for them. The idea is to keep moving. This is not a sprint; it's a marathon. So it's okay to take some rest, but you just have to get up again and again and just keep going.
Yes, keep going, people. Try and try until you succeed. So, have you ever had a client who either refused to work because their request would have required building something unethical, or overly manipulated, or just plain ugly? What is the line you want crossed?
Good question. For for me, I haven't. For me, morals are really important. I've never worked with anything that's directly stealing from somebody or using manipulation, right? So, for example, casino. I would never work with casinos. I don't take much clients or any immoral businesses. Simply, they reward with a lot of money, but I don't know what's the money is not worth it.
Mhm.
Simply not worth it. So I never actually. I have tried at the beginning of my career to get myself into it, but I quickly realized that wow, I'm only doing this for money. So perhaps I need to find a little bit more purpose, and that's why I work with coaches now, and it's primarily consciousness coaches and hypnotists and stuff like that. People who help other people with their psychology, subconscious, getting rid of financial blocks, helping with relationships. So now I'm really in the business of helping humans be better people and understand themselves. And I really think I found my place where I really enjoy my impact and I help people who are actually making positive impact.
Congratulations, Mr. Arturas. With the AI getting smarter every day, how do you see the no-code and automation space changing? Are you worried about being replaced or excited about what the new capabilities are coming?
I'm very excited. I hope I get replaced so that I could go on and enjoy some creative things. I'm not worried at all. I can understand people who are worried about it, but I always looked at my job as temporary. Even though I've been doing it for a long time, I'm not attached to it. I'm not attached to it. I understand that if my job gets replaced by AI or other softwares, it's okay. It means I can go on and do some other things. When it comes to survival, we always find a way. Like people always find a way to survive. So I don't really mind that. There's always going to be jobs and opportunities that simply require a person. I don't see anytime soon AI that's gonna build your house. As a person still has to do all the building. Sure, he may use machinery and stuff like that, but there's still gonna be plenty of opportunities around where people have to do the work, and it's okay for me. I look at life like a journey, and that means that I'm not gonna be doing the same thing for the rest of my life. It means that there's gonna be periods where perhaps right now I'm in a period of where I'm getting my hands into digital marketing and business, and maybe after 7 or 10 years I'm gonna go into, I don't know, woodworks, and maybe I'm gonna do paintings or something like that. So, and that's gonna be that period of my life where I don't do marketing. I focus on something that's maybe a little bit more pleasant to me and where I can express creativity in another way. Perhaps I'll become a singer and just start a YouTube channel where I sing covers. Like, who knows? But I'm open to all possibilities that the life will process, so I'm not worried completely about AI. If it does replace me, even now I have a program where I teach people what I do. I teach, now I have almost 200 students where I teach exactly what I do completely for free. So I'm basically teaching everything that I know, everything that I've collected over the last 5 years, and I'm just handing off it to the next generation of people who want to get their hands on marketing. And so I think it's, I'm okay with that. It's not a problem that I'm gonna teach a bunch of people that are gonna compete for the same clients as me. It's okay. If they take all the clients away from me, I'll move on to something else. It's not a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Arturas, and looking forward for more success. Can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your property, whatever project that you're doing right now?
Sure. So on the screen, if you're watching this on the screen, you can follow me on LinkedIn. If you're not, I do have that free training program that I was talking about for media buyers, people who want to become marketers. You can either find me online, Arturas Tarasevicius, or you can message me on Instagram, arturas.marketing, and sure, we can take it from there.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Arturas because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering business like this to come. So, Mr. Arturas, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Welcome, people. See you soon.